Hello again, this is Scott, and I'm back. I let the chickens out earlier. It's been raining today, so they haven't really had a chance to run outside today till now. But I wanted to show you well, they're pretty much down now. There's some on top, but this morning when I woke up, pretty much all these 1,000 or so black soldier fly grubs were on top of the lid. And as I told you the other day, I'm supposed to be getting this composter that will automatically self-harvest itself when they're ready to grow up and stop eating. They crawl out on their own. But one of the dangers is without that composter that you get this. See how liquidy it is? And what happens is they'll try to escape that. So overnight they all agglomerated on the lid and let it dry out below them. So they're pretty smart little creatures. So since it's Memorial Day weekend, I won't have a chance to that item won't get here until at least Tuesday, that composter. So I had to fashion my own in the meantime, that is, so it doesn't stay as wet. I could just throw them in a bucket and be done with it, but I wanted to have a second backup just in case the first one has an issue. So what I did is I drilled a whole bunch of holes in the bottom of one of these buckets. I got two buckets here, two 5-gallon buckets, and I've got this coconut husk down here that I picked up from the same store, the big box store that you see on the label, and it's made for planters. So you put that inside of a planter, and I just cut it out. It's 10 inches around. That's the circumference, or the diameter here is 5 inches, so it's 10 inches across when it goes up underneath here. So what I'm going to do is I've drilled all these holes. Now what I do is flip it over. I take this other bucket and I put this one inside here. So now what happens is, as the effluent goes down, it will go like this. So I wanted to get something that was tight enough that the effluent would still go through, or loose enough I should say, but also tight enough that the grubs wouldn't get through. So that's pretty tight. You can see I've got it locked down, and they'll sit on top of there, and I'll put their food source, I'll put them in, then their food source, and then the lid. Now I'm just going to use, I was going to put a fancy lid on top of this, but just imagine if there's a lid right there, and this little T section fits through the lid. And I got this from, I think it was blacksoldierfly.com. I'm not sure. They have a kind of a different way to do this than I put mine together, but the lid is the same. And so that's the air holes through here. It just is a regular T. It's not blocked off at all. The lid goes on. The black soldier flies, females, will find their way into the tubes. I'll probably also, I don't know how involved I'm going to get with this because I'm not going to build a ramp system. I'm just going to pick them out as they stop eating and start walking up the side of the wall. I might put a little tiny ramp in there so I can separate them quicker, but it won't be a type that's self-contained, so I'll physically have to pull them out of here, which is fine because this is just a temporary situation for me. So that's how this is going to work. I'm going to dump the grubs in right now, see how they like their new bed. The lid is stuck on just like usual, and there's a whole bunch of them in there still. It's really wet, so let me see if I can drop them in. I'll just put it over here for now and take the majority of them. See how wet that is? That's just not good for them, I don't think. I'll just dump them in. Thank goodness they didn't all die off. I was worried there when they were all stuck on the lid this morning that they kicked the bucket, so to speak. But no, they were just waiting for me to dump them into here, I guess. So there they are. That's most of them. And the odor right now is, it kind of smells fruity. It's not bad. I threw a bunch of moldy stuff in here yesterday as their food source is moldy bread, and it doesn't smell too bad. It's kind of a fruity cereal smell. You'd think it would smell rotten and nasty, but it doesn't. Yeah, there's a whole bunch more that are stuck in here. I'm going to have to shut it off and start it back up later. So I'll be back in just a few minutes while I get the rest of them out of here.